Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. So the last couple of months, we've been talking about definitions, terms that you may or may not know, things that come up during the closing process that may be words that you just don't understand. And then periodically we get things that get interjected in our daily work environment that are things I really feel like we need to talk about. So if you follow our Foot Title Group page, you probably saw the live presentation earlier this week with our operations manager, Sherry Papanikolas, and our marketing guru, Carla Kemp. They were talking about something that is absolutely just terrifying right now in our industry. And as a home buyer or home seller, you may not be aware of this. And as a realtor or a lender, you need to be very aware and know what to do to protect yourself and your consumers. So today I wanted to talk about the single most scariest, important, dangerous thing that's happening right now in the home buying and selling process, and it is email and wire fraud. And that may sound like a big topic and wow, well, how does it affect me? What's the big deal? What's going on? Well, let me just tell you, here's the breakdown that our computer guys tell us how it's happening. And I want you guys to understand that this is happening in our industry because there's so much funds that are transferred when going through the home buying and home selling process. It's probably one of the biggest transfers of funds in consumers in the consumer's world. So let's talk about this for a minute. So when we talk about wire fraud, email fraud, you think, wow, that's a computer term, that's technical, it really doesn't have anything to do with me, and I'm here to tell you that's absolutely wrong. So I'm going to first qualify by saying I am not a technology person. I like to play with it. I know how to use it. Obviously, you see I do some live broadcasts, but when it comes to the meat and potatoes behind the scenes, all of the little nuances, I have no idea. And I rely on those important people that know what they're doing. And they're telling me these things. This is what you need to understand. The people that are hacking everything that we all do, email, websites, all kinds of things. And some of you may know our website was hacked recently. And, I don't even understand why somebody targets that kind of thing. But the email being hacked in the home buying and selling process, this is exactly why. Because of the funds that are transferring between parties to make that process happen, there's a lot of opportunity there for them to try to grab or misdirect what you're doing. So here's how it happens. And this is what I understand. And again, qualifying, I'm not a technology person, but this is what I'm being told. So the people that are sitting out there that are doing these hacks, what they do is they look for keywords. They look for things that you may be typing in your email. Money, transferring money, wires, how much money do I need for closing? What are my funds looking like? CD, closing disclosures, some of the words of some of the documents that are involved, the mortgage, passwords, any of these kinds of things that may be trigger words that they're constantly watching. So if you happen to go into your email and you get a spam email and you click on a link, once you do that, you've let somebody in your computer. And they may not do anything for a long time. Maybe they don't do anything at all. But more than likely, what they're doing is they're watching and they're looking for you to send emails and with all these keywords. And then what happens is, as soon as you send an email with one of those keywords, they actually mirror your email and then make it look like they are you sending something to one of the people that you're corresponding with. So let's say, for example, here's how we've seen it happen. So we send out an email to a customer and say, we need you to wire X amount of dollars. Here's our wiring instructions. This is how it's going to happen. Or maybe we don't even say those words. Maybe we just say, here's the wiring instructions for your closing. And here attached is your closing disclosure, which will tell you how much you need for closing. Or maybe we don't even say anything about the closing disclosure. We just send out and say, here's the wiring instructions for your closing, so you know where to send the money to. Wiring instructions, obviously, is a keyword, got their attention, so now they're watching. What happened is, as soon as we sent that out, now the person that's doing the hack on the other side sends you, as the consumer, another set of wiring instructions and says, hey, ignore what I just sent you. Use these wiring instructions to send the funds for your closing. you as the consumer, being trusting of what the process, you now say, oh, okay, well, those wiring instructions must not have been any good. Let me send all of the money I need for closing to the new instructions. Those funds, as soon as they leave your account, have gone to China, Africa, Korea. These are the places that this is happening. This is how it's going. And this is, you know, as much as we all know, these are financial crimes. These are things that, you know, this is needs to be taken care of. Once you click that money, send that money, you can't get it back. It's gone. So you may have heard about some of these things, you know, in certain different areas. Most of the title companies, and I know we do, we have a really heavily encrypted software that we use. And when we send you an email, we send it encrypted. So it may be a little bit of a pain, but it allows that only the people that are involved in that encryption can get into that email. The other thing is we always warn our consumers, I'm going to send you wiring instructions, but when you get them, call me. You call me and you confirm with me what those instructions are. And if you get any other instructions from us, do not use them. Call us if you have any questions. Do not rely on email, because what's happened is as soon as that email is now flagged or seen or watched by whoever's doing these hacks, now they know if you email back, they know exactly what to do and they intercept it. And I never see it because what we sent is encrypted so they can't get in. But they may have tagged onto your email and your email address, which, you know, these things are happening. And then they know exactly what to send you to make it look like it's coming from me. Now, the other thing is, I really want you to understand, if you get an email that for any reason makes you say, something's misspelled, an address in the email address bar is wrong or different than what you expected, anything that makes you question it, don't click on it. Don't open it, because that's one of the ways that these hackers are getting in. And the other thing I'll say is, if you're a real estate professional or you're a mortgage professional, Gmail, Yahoo, MSN, those are the easiest emails for them to get into, so I'm told. And those are the ones that they follow the most. The other thing is, you need to look at encryption software. It's not expensive, but it will save you and your consumers lots and lots of money. And if you're a consumer, you need to pick up the phone and make the call before you touch anything sending your money anywhere. As title companies, we're working really hard because we know, we've been told for a year that our industry is targeted. And so that's why most of us use encrypted software. And it is not our email that's being hacked. It's either the consumers, sometimes it's the realtors. A lot of the lenders have encrypted softwares already, so it's not always them. Maybe it's somebody else in the process. What I'm saying to you is, don't send your money somewhere without physically talking to a human being. You know, we had an unusual situation where when these hack things first started happening, that we were sending things encrypted. We got some email, we had a wire that bounced back. We sent a wire, it bounced back because the wiring instructions that, one of the numbers on the instructions that the seller gave us to send some money to them was wrong. So we tried contacting the seller, no phone call. We weren't able to get them on the phone. And then we started getting all these emails. Why haven't you sent the money? What's going on? How are you handling this? And kind of aggressive emails. And so luckily we picked up on that and said, you know, and also we know, you know, we're not going to respond on that type of email. So in that email, we also got a, hey, send this email, send this wire somewhere else. You know, we're having trouble with that bank account. So the new wiring instructions were a different bank account, different numbers, different bank. Everything was different, really unusual. Of course, made us say, this doesn't make sense. So, and especially since we couldn't even get the person on the phone. So then we get an email that says, oh, well, I'll have my mom, I think it was the gentleman who was emailing, I'll have my mom call you. Well, you better give me some good, accurate information that I can verify that that really is your mom calling me and telling me where to send this wire. Well, come to find out, it wasn't any of these people. All this email we were receiving, all of this ugly email trying to get us directed into the right spot to where to send this money, was a hack. It was not the right people. So I really suggest, and this, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be just about the home buying and selling process. If you're dealing with something and you're looking in your email and you see something that doesn't make sense to you, it's just like all these robo phone calls we all get. You know, we know that if it's a phone number that comes up that says unknown, or it's a number you don't recognize, you don't answer the phone, because it's not somebody that you know and it's not a valid call. The same is true with email. If you're getting something email, and somebody's telling you to do something with your email, get the heck out of it, delete it, move it to junk. You know, it'll block those people because in our industry particularly, it's costing people hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you know, when you're talking about $15,000, $20,000, $150,000, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have that sitting around to say, oh, okay, well, I sent it to Africa. Let me resend it for my closing. You know, that breaks a closing. That means your home closing is not going to happen because now you don't have the funds to do it because you've gotten bad information. So pick up the phone, make the call. If you're the consumer, be protective, be proactive of your money. I'm not saying wiring is bad. I'm saying just make sure you know where you're wiring it to, because most title companies won't accept checks because you know, the fraud that was going on with checks. Now, wires are fine and they're good. It's the email that is getting to be the problem. So call the title company, call the mortgage company, call your real estate company if you're being asked to move money around, and find out what exactly those directions are and make sure they're good directions so that it gets to the right place. So as with anything, I hope that I've helped you out. Maybe I've spurred a question. As I said, I'm not a computer technology person, but I know what's happening in our industry. And I've talked to our tech people a lot about it. And so hopefully I helped you with a question or a thought or made you think about being more proactive when you're dealing with sending some money. And if that's the case, or if it's not and you want to talk about it more, reach out and let me know. Let's talk about it some more. There's a lot of questions out there and there's a lot of buzz going on about this because people are losing money every single minute dealing with this through this process. And because the hackers have gotten just more and more sophisticated. So take precaution with your money and reach out and ask the questions that you need to ask. Feel free to reach out to me through this or through my email. You can reach out to any of my team members in Maryland or Virginia through our website, www.foottitlegroup.com. And the information we're talking about here is true across the country. So if you're viewing in from somewhere else across the country besides Maryland and Virginia, this absolutely pertains to you. We're talking about this across the country in our industry and in the mortgage and real estate industry. So this really needs to be addressed, and we as professionals really need to work together to get this taken care of. So hopefully I helped you guys with some good information. I really appreciate you tuning in, and please hit the share button because if no other reason, the people that you know need to get this information as well. Maybe somebody you know is buying or selling a house. Maybe they're being asked to wire some money for a car they're purchasing or a dog or something else. It is happening in a lot of industries. We're just super hypersensitive because the amount of money that goes through our industry is big, and that's being targeted a lot. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Hey, Miss Pam, how are you today? Thank you guys for your time and your feedback. And please hit that share button so you can help those people that you know get this information as well. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Thanks for tuning in with Coffee with Connie. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.